Hey, it's Martin here, and I just want to talk today about our assumptions. So, one of the things that we face every day are our own assumptions and the assumptions of others. And unfortunately, for many people, these really do hold us back. These really do prevent us from moving forward. And unfortunately, along the journey, we're faced with these situations which force us, in a way, to make assumptions. And remembering that our assumptions are actually our own choices that we make. So we can assume whatever we wish to assume in that time based on what we've heard, what we've seen. And a lot of assumptions are made based on other people's communication. So that might be whether it be from friends or family, in a text message, over the phone, it may be via Facebook Messenger, Instagram, whatever it will be. We hear certain things from people and we then make our own assumption of what we've heard, our own perception as well, based on how we're feeling in that moment. Now, I believe we've got to be really careful of this, and I'm holding my hand up right now and saying, hey, look, I've made assumptions, I've made choices throughout my life and said certain things and thought certain things that were certainly not the truth, but it was based on what I was told, it was based on the assumptions of others, it was based on the opinions of others, which in all fairness limited then the actual truth to the whole situation, about the person, about the message that may have been shared. And I believe we've got to be really, really careful here, because we can end up believing something about somebody, about a situation that isn't actually true. And it's always going to hold us back. It's always going to prevent us from moving forward. And it's something that I've come to really start working on a lot more, based around what am I hearing? Have I got both sides of the story? We've always got this situation where he said this, she said this, blah, 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 blah. And the person who is being spoken about isn't actually there to, in a way, defend his or herself. Now, when that's the situation where that person can't be there to defend themselves, or actually isn't even invited in to defend themselves, then we're going to believe in many cases of what we're hearing. And this is where I believe it's very important for us to get all the information from all parties before we make our own conscious decision on what we've heard. Now, this isn't from a place of judgment. This is just from a place of making sure that we've heard from all parties first before. You know, I've actually just been in a situation recently where I've been accused of a few things which actually aren't true. Now, these people have made the assumption based on what somebody else has said, but they didn't come to me and ask me if what was said was the truth, for my side of the actual story, for the actual process that had taken place to get to that point where they had received a message. So once I had actually shared my side of the story, what I had experienced, what actually the truth was, then they were able to make that decision and realize, in all fairness, that what decision they initially made was actually wrong. It was based on an assumption of what they had heard, because they hadn't got the truth from all parties. And this is why I believe it's so important that we choose, because it's only a choice, that we choose to take our time to get the information, take our time to get all parties together in that situation, in that scenario, and go through it and find out. Because especially if this is something that's going to have repercussions for somebody in particular, then it would only be the right thing to do to spend that time in doing it. And unfortunately, we tend to be rushed. We tend to be striving out there to do these things, and unfortunately, they're not from a place of authenticity. They're not from a place of integrity. Now, I class authenticity particular. It's one of my top 4 values. I class integrity right up there. Anybody who knows me knows that trust, support, authenticity, high values for me. It's how I choose to live my life. And the only way that people don't believe that is when they are listening to other people. And you have a decision to make every time that you're put into a situation where somebody's saying something about somebody else, where there's something that may affect you, your business, your relationships, whatever it may be. You are put in a situation where you have the power to choose to either listen to what's being said, to go ahead and actually think outside of the box and go, do you know what, I appreciate your input in this situation, I'd like to get it from the other person. Or even better, let's get us all together and have a conversation about this. Because communication, in all fairness, addresses everything. Communication really allows us to move forward. And I truly believe that when we do this, when we come from this place of allowing ourselves to step into that environment together, allowing ourselves to really let go of ego. I mean, ego is a big one I like to talk around, and everybody's got one. EGO, everybody's got one. And really it comes from a place of this validation, this angle of, I want to be more powerful than somebody else. I want to be right. This is a huge area of ego. I want to be right. I must be right. If I'm right, then that means I have the power. And unfortunately, what happens here is that we get caught up, we get lost. And even though on the outside, for many of us, we're not aiming to put somebody else down, but when we wish to be right, there's got to be somebody that's wrong. The law of polarity, the law of opposites. Which means that if somebody else is wrong, then that means that you've put them down to be right. And in all fairness, it's not a case of who's right or wrong. It's a case of what is actually the truth to help us move forward together, because often some people don't even see what's going on. They're not even aware of what they're saying. They're just going about life, in all fairness, what I call existing. Because they're just not consciously aware. They're just on this journey where they're really not attached to what's actually happening around them, the communication that they've got, the words that they're saying. Now, I've done a lot of work around the power of words. And that's why I always say, I believe. I don't say to people, this is what you should do. I believe this is what's right. This is what aligns with me. And for many people, our beliefs are what hold us back. And that's just been conditioning, maybe from our parents, from society as we've grown up, what we've allowed to happen, what we've chosen to believe in, who we've chosen to follow and what they say. And we all have our own ability to step forward and really change our own beliefs based on the information that we're receiving, based on our decisions to accept that information and go, do you know what, at this time in my life, this really does make sense to me. This really does resonate with me. And I'm going to choose to change my belief here, because there's a great saying, I'm unsure who said it at this moment in time. I think it was Talopa. What's true in the morning is often a lie in the afternoon. So when we wake up, what we believe to be true for us, once we've got more information, once we've been in different situations, has now become a lie in the afternoon. And I've had that happen to me many times in my life, especially since I went through a journey of expanding my mind, becoming more aware, working on myself every day via the personal growth, the personal development that I do, the action that I choose to take. And it's really helped me get into a place where I am open to everything and attached to nothing. It's such a powerful thing, a powerful way to live your life when you choose to be attached to nothing and open to everything. This allows you to grow. This allows you to take more information in. This allows you to be open to the communication coming through and allow yourself to then make that conscious decision on which way you wish to go. And it's very, very powerful. I encourage you to expand your mind around this. I encourage you to think outside of the box. It really is very, very empowering when you do so, because accepting those new beliefs allows you to move forward. Remember, we can't move forward when we've got the same level of thinking that we had yesterday. it's going to prevent us from actually going and achieving our goals, our dreams, our true purpose. In all fairness, I mean, I talk about this a lot. We're often looking outside, we're trying to open these doors externally, yet in all fairness, the door to truth opens internally, and that means looking back on self. When we're pointing the finger at people, when we're blaming other people, when we're saying, well, you said this and she said this and this is the reason why my life's the way it is because of you, there's three fingers pointing back at us. And taking ownership is so important. Taking ownership of everything that's happened in your life. Every decision that you've made has helped you get to this point right now. And every decision that you're going to make is going to help you move forward on your journey. And that's the power of choice that you truly, truly have each day. So don't let assumptions hold you back. Don't let assumptions continue to push you in a direction of a journey along your life that you don't wish to take. Because I know for one thing that's for certain, we're all going to pass. We're all going to die at the end of this journey. And I encourage you to not get to the end of your life, to not be lying on your bed, your deathbed, and saying, what if it was all a lie? What if I had made better decisions? What if I hadn't listened to those people who were speaking from a place of ego, who were holding me back, who were hoping to keep me in a place that was going to keep me stuck, keep me down, prevent me from moving forward? I encourage you to look at things from a place of fulfillment, from a place of getting the truth from every single side to make your own conscious decision, your own truth that aligns with you. Thank you for your time, as always. If you've enjoyed this, please comment below, like, share. If you're on YouTube, please click on the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you receive more information from me when I post my videos. I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Peace, love, and happiness. Bye for now.